off if other people suddenly appear, because I don't want to accidentally film people. My little pup has had 2 poops, so I don't think I'll be needing to pick one up, which is always an advantage when you're doing a live. So why have I popped on? Well, basically limited palettes and colour temperature of paints. So I've been seeing an awful lot of videos on, warm versus cool palettes, and that's kind of made me think that when I'm using a limited palette, and I like to use one of each primary colour, a black and a white. Sometimes I don't use the black, but it's there. And I always state that I'm using an ultramarine blue, a cadmium red and the cadmium yellow, but I haven't stated why. And that's a bit remiss of me, really. The reason is all those 3 primaries are warm primaries. So they're going to play nicely together. Whereas if I'd put in, say, a phthalo blue, which leans towards green, that's a cool blue, and that won't play nicely with cadmium red and cadmium yellow because they're both warm, and you'll end up with kind of a dull meh in the mix, which we don't necessarily want. So it's really useful to just think about what colours you're using in a colour limited palette. And do I ever mix them? Really, I don't mix the colours per se, as in directly, but what I will do is I will have a warm palette and a cool palette. So if I'm doing a landscape, for example, and walking here in the forest has made me realise that I probably need to tell you guys this actually, because I don't openly speak about it that much, and I should. So I think the next 2-minute art hack is going to be a little demo on what the difference is, because what I will do is, especially if I'm doing a landscape, for example, the background I will use my cool limited palette for, and the foreground I will use my warm colour palette, because warm colours come forward, cool colours go back, and that's the reason we do that. So just have a think when you're using a limited palette and someone says to you, oh, just pick any, red, yellow and blue. Be aware and mindful of the temperature of those colours. So like I say, ultramarine and both the cads, they are all warm because they lean towards the red. So ultramarine's a bit of a purpley blue. The cadmium red leans towards the yellowy red. Cadmium yellow leans towards the red. So they are warm. Whereas, for example, lemon yellow, that leans towards the greens a bit more, so that's a cool yellow. What's a good? Alizarin crimson, that's a cool red. It leans towards the blue spectrum. Phthalo blue is a cool blue because it leans towards the greens. So those are examples of a cool limited colour palette. So have a play, pick 3 warm, pick 3 cool, and I use apples an awful lot, or spheres, just something really simple, and try painting it in a warm limited palette, and then paint it again using a cool limited palette, and then see what the difference is, see what you like, because it's a personal choice, it's your style effectively. Oh, hello people, I hadn't realised people were watching me. So yes, so have a play and see what you think, and then maybe mix a couple of a blue, warm blue with a cool red, and then do a warm red with a warm blue, and just see the different purples you get. Notice how vibrant if you use all the same temperature. It'll be interesting. Right, I'm going to disappear off now because I can see other dog walkers and I don't want to accidentally film other people. So I will see you all again soon. Subscribe to my channel and watch the next art hack. See you later. Bye.